I hate my voice. Ugh, is what you may say. But I'm going to change that. If you're tired of the old cookie cutter marketing advice and want to take your personal brand to the next level with bold, actionable strategies that truly reflect you, you're in the right place. Let's untangle your marketing mayhem with Zoe, the video confidence coach, on the Unboring Your Brand podcast. Unboring Your Brand was recorded on Wadawurrung land. It's not a personal flaw and your voice isn't wrong. You'll find out more in this episode 75, Your Voice Isn't the Villain, where you'll find out why your video sounds weird in recordings and why it's just a weird thing that your brain does, and a practical plan and a simple set of instructions on how to not necessarily get your leg over it, because that's a sexual thing, but get your at least mind over it and help you expand your comfort zone so that recording doesn't seem like such a big feat. And if you caught this originally, please send me an email letting me know that you caught this on the original airing, and I'll send you a freebie. For everyone else, check out the rest of the episode with a fresh one next week. They immediately go, oh no, I hate this way that my voice sounds. Or as they usually say it as a throwaway line to a pile of other things where it's like, oh, I can't do that, this. Oh, I can't possibly do that, this. I can't possibly do that. Oh, and my voice sounds weird. So you can imagine when that put in a pile with other things that usually people put up as barriers to their own marketing efforts, but they put up to their own messaging, they put up to their essentially kneecapping themselves when it comes to marketing their brand. I understand. I get it. It's weird when you hear yourself being recorded for the first time. But if you want to share your message, if you want to grow your personal brand or grow your brand in your business, you need to step up. You need to step up and be the expert you already are. If you are a thought leader, you already are. And to be that, you need to be in charge. You need to have opinions and you need to say them out loud. So you're going to have to get comfy with your own voice, or at least you're not going to have to cringe every time it plays back. So in those moments, let's see why this is the case and how you can do it for yourself. So you don't even need to reach out to me. I mean, you can still do that. I would love to help you with your personal brand and video marketing strategies, by the way. Hi. But in that case, I would love to be able to address this in this podcast, this live stream, as well as this opportunity for you in either a blog post or article, however this ends up coming out to you, or you are reading and consuming this marketing message. So in those moments where you find that you record yourself in a video or in a podcast or in something, and you come back and you listen back to it and you're like, this doesn't sound like me. It sounds weird. Do I make those noises with my mouth? Apologies for anyone. Do I really sound like that? Do I breathe that much? Oh my God. Those were the thoughts I had when I first started listening to myself back in a professional setting. Now, of course, leading up to, as you can imagine, the drama queen that I am, I recorded myself plenty of times as a child and as a teenager leading up. But when I first started my business, arguably as a teenager, I started to record myself to explain to things to clients about how they would get their message across by just doing it for them to start with, just to show that I'm not dead, and to show that everything carries across. But in that moment, I had to record something, view it back, edit it, watch it again and again and again, so I could make this video as proper and as good as I had hoped it could be for my audience at the end of the day. But looking back at the science of this, the reason why something that is recorded from a piece of technology, like outside of you, as in like a camera, ultimately a microphone is the thing recording you, but a camera that has a microphone in it, your phone, where your microphone is at the butt end of your phone, or if you are, hearing it back from another device that is not a human being. I don't know how you're going to hear a voice from another human being. I digress. But the way that it sounds is not the way that you hear it when you hear your own voice ringing around in your own head. And that's exactly what's happening, is because the sound, when we're speaking it through our throats and through our mouths, is not coming out into the world and then circling back magically and coming back into our ears. it's bouncing around in our skull and we are hearing it from the other side, from the inside, if it were. You, gross. And when we hear these sounds, of course, we are going to sound different from anyone else who is not currently in our skulls. So, as you can imagine, when you are recording this in the outside world, that's not what people hear because they don't need to hear all the sounds hitting around from inside your skull. So in turn, they hear your voice differently. So, we've got over the science of this, but in those moments of just you cringe listening back to something that you've created, again, you're creating it for your audience, you're creating it for someone else, that has gotten you over that hurdle to actually record the video. But now you have to look back at it, and in most cases, for a lot of people, you have to edit it in some way. So you have to, what I like to say is top and tail. So at the start, when you're about to record and you press there and you get ready, take a breath and then you start talking. That's where you cut that out so no one has to watch that. We call that the millennial pause on the internet. And yeah, you don't really need that. Most people want to be able to get into some sort of meat of your content within 3 to 5 seconds, and that's a fairly reasonable ask. So make sure you actually get to the point and don't meander on, like me on my podcast episodes where I've seen a couple of comments and a couple of emails regarding that. Don't worry, I promise I'm speeding up through. Or I'm not. I've probably been on too many tangents. Deal with it. So there's that aspect. And then the end of the clip that you've recorded, just make sure you take out the bit where you're fumbling around trying to press the record button so it stops recording. So in those moments, you are going to be reviewing the way that you look and the way that you sound over and over and over again, trying to get it right because, again, it is not for you, it is for someone else. So in these moments, what do you need to do to desensitize yourself to your own voice? Step 1, you need to practice, which I know is annoying but necessary. Yes, it may feel cringe at first, especially when you watch it back the first time. I'm going to tell you now that if you show the video to any of your friends or your family or anyone, maybe a staff member who is in the business with you or anyone close to you, they are going to say, it's fine. It's you. And that's okay, because everyone has to start somewhere. The more you edit and listen to yourself, the less weird it gets, because you are desensitizing yourself to it. You are putting an awful lot of baggage on the recorded version of yourself. I'm going to tell you that you're putting an awful lot of baggage on that recorded version of yourself, especially if you don't see it as perfect. A lot of people I work with, that is the thing that gets them. It is not perfect. It's not perfectly done first time around. I'm going to tell you now, I've been doing this for over half of my life, and I'm still not perfect. Have fun with that. So again, desensitizing yourself just to the sound of your voice, but also desensitizing yourself not having everything perfect is a helpful tip that you will also be doing in the meantime. You'll start also noticing useful things as you start reviewing yourself and being able to separate yourself from the creature that you've recorded in a video or an audio format to be able to kind of step back and go, all right, objectively, was my message clear? Was I rambling a bit too much? Did I say my message at the start and at the end? Did I say, I digress 47 times? That is a me thing. That is not necessarily a you thing. So I apologize. I digress. I say that way too often. I'm sorry. Step 2 is to break before you review. So a lot of people I work with, especially if you are in a TikTok or an algorithm, Instagram, or any social media kind of sense where you record within the app and then you're immediately shown, as soon as you stop recording, you're immediately thrown back into what you've been recorded or what you have recorded the first time. So you can start editing and posting it straight away because we need more content for the algorithms. I'm going to say, don't do that. If you recorded something within an app, just save it to your phone, put the phone down, and walk away and review it later. Put a reminder in your alarm clock or your calendar or something to review later, making sure that you take a break from either like a food break or a dog walk or a nap, just giving your brain space to separate yourself from what has been recorded. Now, I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that just because when you're working with, say, a professional editor, they are not the ones usually who are in the actual thing being recorded. So they are a lot more objective as to what is being presented to the audience. So when you come back after your break, and remember to come back after your break, you come back with fresh ears. You become less emotionally attached because it was half an hour ago, a couple of hours ago, maybe in a couple of days. You would become more objective because that person, yes, is you, but yes, is you in the past. And you're able to slowly build up that tolerance to be able to look back at you from the recent past as another being that you can start critiquing and start utilizing in your own future content. So once you have reviewed and possibly edited out of a couple of the things where you maybe stumbled a bit too much, said I digress a couple of times, or topped and tailed, as I mentioned before, step 3 is to let someone else listen. So grab a mate, grab a business associate, grab a friend, a family member, maybe a staff member, or even your nan. It would be ultimately helpful to grab someone who is in your target market or someone who is a good reflection of the audience that you actually cater to, but we don't always have that. So in some moments, just grab whoever you have near, and chances they'll say yes, especially if it's your first couple of times doing it. Maybe it's the 100th time, probably not, but by then, hopefully you'll give enough confidence in yourself to practice doing it so then you can see what is right and what is wrong. And they said, and I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, they'll say, you sound fine. What's wrong? That is what will happen. And they'll probably give you feedback. Great. Then you can tweak that in future performances. Not necessarily have to edit it perfect, the right one, but to give you a chance to give you that confidence to get going. And moving on to step 4 is comparing ultimately. So we've done the actual recording of it and checking in on it and giving someone else to have a look at it. We're up to step 4, which is comparing high focus recordings to casual ones. So no matter what you do and no matter what device that you film on or record yourself on, you are going to sound different versus when you are passionate to when you are laid back and chilling. This is going to come out in your breath. It's going to come out in your posture. It's going to come out in the energy that you bring to not just your words, but how you physically look and act on screen, or in some cases, like now, in the audio recording. It is all going to shift your tone. And in turn, eventually, I highly recommend when it comes to something that you are very passionate about and very interested about and very wanting to make sure that your audience actually attests and make sure they remembers it, bring that passion out like I do with my podcast episodes. Hopefully you're not bored. The pros have trained themselves to hit that passionate mode on cue. And you can too, because you are doing ultimately this for someone else. So as you practice, you're able to bring that passion out in not just the words that you're saying, but the tonation that you're saying it to. Your voice and your message isn't just for you. I mean, it comes from you, don't get me wrong, but it is for your audience. People who need your help, your ideas, your encouragement, your solution to their problem need to hear you say it. They need you to say it out loud, to actualize their swirling problems, their mayhem into a usually succinct message with your actual voice, not AI, not just something that you are manufacturing, your actual voice, to make them feel less alone, to make them feel like there is a solution to their problem, especially when their problem is mental or internal or something nebulous. It's not something that they can just, get something done within the next hour. Your job is not to sound perfect. Your job is to be understood. And in turn, you need to be out there getting your message out there. So I know ultimately that your voice may sound cringe now, but as you practice, as you keep going, that will fade with time. And if it runs deep, like if the cringe does not stop and you've done it a handful of times, even after practicing and supporting and actually sticking to it, it might be time to have a chat with a therapist. I'm not being shameful. I'm saying genuinely, having a chat with a therapist, if it is something that you really want to achieve, but your own mental hurdles are holding yourself back, it's not shameful, it's smart. So go talk to someone about it. Recommending therapy. One thing I want to touch on before I end this episode is you would not ridicule a baby for falling over as they're learning to walk. So why be mean to your beginner self when you're learning to talk on mic? When you're learning to present your message? When you're learning to be on stage? When you're learning to be in front of the camera? Give yourself time. Give yourself grace. And remember, your message matters more than your discomfort. Your audience matters more than your discomfort. You've got this. And if you need, I'm right here to help you say it out loud. Thank you again for listening to the Unboring Your Brand podcast with your host, Zoe Wood, the video confidence coach, smashing your marketing mayhem with killer video strategies. Make sure that you give this podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts if you have enjoyed listening or watching, to this podcast. I really hope that you have gotten a lot out of today, and I'm aware that some people have mentioned that I do like to ramble a bit in my podcasts, and I thank you for being able to stick it out with me during this time that I've been rambling, honestly, a bit too much. Ultimately, I hope that you have gotten something out of this, and you're able to either start recording yourself and looking back objectively, or get back into the swing of things, because people need to hear your message. Thank you for listening or watching Unboring Your Brand. You can find detailed show notes with tools, offers, and episode transcriptions. Just click the first link in the description or go to vcc.training/podcast. Get involved and ask me anything about personal branding, video strategy, or just a friendly small business chat via my email, g'day@vcc.training. That is gday@vcc.training. The Video Confidence Coach would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which I record my podcast. I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Look forward to me chatting at you next week, superstars.